Hey, what's going on? It's DA Born from Born with Purpose. I'm here at the 6th annual Windsor Hip Hop Festival, and with us today is mayoral candidate for Windsor, Mr. Patrick Sutherland. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Oh, I'm really enjoying the hip hop festival. Go ahead with your questions.
All right. I'm new back to Windsor. I lived in Toronto for like 20 years or so, and I'm back. And
Welcome back to Windsor.
thank you. One thing I've noticed is that I'm just gonna come up with the question: downtown Windsor. What are your plans to resurrect downtown Windsor?
That's the perfect question for me because this is my fourth time in the municipal elections. I have done a lot of time researching how we are going to take care of this homeless problem. We are not that bright here in Windsor. We're in the Guinness Book of World Records for doing something stupid with EC Row. Let's look across the world and see what is the most effective way of handling the homeless problem. Let's go to Helsinki, Finland. Their model is housing first. No questions asked. We provide you with a house. Then the other social issues, addictions, psychiatric care would then follow. If they have success, let's do what they're doing. Now, a lot of people say they don't want their tax dollars going to house the homeless. I propose a municipal lottery called the 60-40. 60% goes to the homeless and housing of the homeless, 30 of the 60 goes to the homeless and the housing of the homeless, and 30 goes to the food and the food banks. 40% will go to the winner. And some of the winners will just donate the money back because they love the cause. Instead of spending your money on 649 or any of the Ontario federal elections, let's spend locally. Let's take care of our city. Now, I also propose that I'm going to take a $50,000 discount or take $50,000 off my salary, and that would go straight to housing the homeless. We're not going to fool around. We need 4 years. We've got Ward 2, Ward 3, and Ward 4. We have to take care of that. Everybody gets a home. Everybody's lying on a pillow for Christmas.
Wow, that's quite a bit. That is a plan. I can see you've thought this over quite a bit.
Actually, I was talking to Helmi Sharif, who ran for city council 4 years ago, and Ronaldo Agostino. We were all in a debate forum, whatever you want to call it, and we had these discussions. And then from there, I just kept looking at it and just said, "Let's do this. Let's use something that's going to work." Now, our present administration has proposed that they're going to buy or use the Windsor Arena and spend hundreds of millions of dollars taking out the seats and redesigning it. And that will not work. The powers of evil will infiltrate their poisons and they will just ruin everybody's lives just like they're doing now. I propose we use the Windsor Arena for a sports facility because that's how it's designed. It has the floor, it has the glass, it has the locker rooms, and it has the stands. I want to bring boxing, wrestling. I'd like to see the Windsor Express come downtown. The black community would love to see basketball downtown. I want to see ball hockey, cricket between the Indian Canadians, the Brits, the Australians, and every other country wants to play. We can have indoor soccer, indoor slow pitch. I used to be a convener of baseball and hockey. Love sports. I've been a disc jockey. Love live music. We're open for business in Windsor. Come party with us.
Hey, I like hearing that because I was disappointed when I came back and saw Windsor Arena ineffective. In 1996, I actually saw Outkast at that Windsor Arena, and to see it not in effect, that would be a great thing to see it resurrected. And speaking of downtown Windsor Arena, what now? 20 years ago, downtown Windsor was happening. Downtown Detroit wasn't so nice. I come back and it's the opposite. Downtown Detroit is nice, and downtown Windsor is like, where's the tourism other than Adventure Bay? What would be your plans other than the Windsor Arena to get tourism back in downtown Windsor?
Well, I would hope that we can get another sponsor like Liuna did sponsor the Blues Fest. I have good friends that were involved with the Blues Fest, and they met, some of the members of the Stones, and they have stories about all these different blues artists. They came from New Orleans and so forth. I'm sure they would at least act as consultants. They would like to see it come back. So I'm all about, bringing people from out of town, dropping them right down in downtown Windsor, fill up our hotels, fill up our restaurants. I also want to do a 10% commercial property, or take 10% off the commercial property taxes, so that we can take some of the boards off and fill up these businesses downtown and along Tecumseh, anywhere that that there's a storefront for the smaller businesses, the entrepreneurs. So they would benefit from that.
Absolutely. And another concern I have is, like I said, I've been in Toronto for a long time, but one thing I know, Windsor is slowly growing. But what I notice is that there are more people from Toronto coming in, but there are also people from Toronto that don't live here, but they buy real estate and they increase the rent, and you see rent slowly increasing. They're almost trying to make it GTA rates. Is there a way that this can be prevented where we can keep the cost of living in Windsor at reasonable?
I'm glad you asked that. Part of that housing first model that Helsinki, Finland uses, they keep, I think it's 15 to 25% of landlords' properties, and they keep that at affordable housing. So the reason why they do that is so that they don't step on their feet as they're going. So if they put somebody in a house where the person can't afford the rent because it's too expensive, then the person's back out on the streets again. So that's why they put that, that aspect in there, so that people can afford to live, in at least a quarter of the rental properties.
Wow. I guess my final question would be is, you mentioned on the stage there, if you were elected, you would be the first black mayor in Windsor. What does that mean to you? What do you think that means for the city itself?
Well, you just look at DEI, and we are a lot more diverse than we ever have been.
Definitely.
Equality and equity is here, and inclusiveness. We all get along here, especially right here in the West End. As I was campaigning in the West End, I just fell in love with the people and the attitude, and just the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the camaraderie. So we're here. And Martin Luther King, he came to Jackson Park and he spoke of, I have a dream. We're not dreaming. We're here. We already had a black president. You have 2 mayoral candidates in the city of Windsor for mayor. Okay, we're here. We have overcome. Amen.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've definitely said is that from the time I was here to the time now, I think Windsor is one of the most multicultural cities in Ontario now, because it's a good mix. There's no dominant race in this city. And how do you maintain that? Like, how do you maintain it where it stays a good mix? Like, I don't know.
I don't even think I look at it that much anymore. I myself, I'm polycultural, so it'd be like me fighting inside myself. So why bother?
Right.
If someone's respectful towards you, show them the same respect and love. And if someone's hurting you, they're probably hurting inside, and so show them the same respect and love.
Yeah.
Fair
enough. Well, Mr. Sutherland, I thank you for your time, and all the best in the mayor election. I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting one, as Windsor it needs change. It could always go from good to great. So, any final words?
People, come out, embrace your children, embrace your family, embrace your race, and embrace your city.
Absolutely. All right, Born with Purpose, we're out.